Welcome. Now, the India Meteorological Department has said that the maximum temperatures are in the range of 40 to 46 degrees Celsius over most part of the country except in western Himalayan region, northeast Bihar and northeast India, where temperatures remain below 36 degrees Celsius. Now, the weather agency further informed that the highest maximum temperature of 46.9 degrees Celsius was recorded at Akola. 98 of the world's 100 hottest cities currently is located in the country, raising concerns over the impact of rising temperatures. India is experiencing record-breaking heat, placing it at the epicenter of global heat wave. Temperature in many regions have surpassed 40 degrees centigrade, with some locations nearly 45 degrees centigrade, pointing to a trend of increasingly intense heat waves. India Meteorological Department has forecast that heat wave conditions in isolated pockets of Himachal Pradesh on April 27. The weather department said that heat wave conditions are very likely in isolated pockets over Jammu and Kashmir on April 27th and across Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Gujarat during the same period, with similar conditions expected over parts of Chhattisgarh till April 28th. Now, hot and humid weather conditions are also very likely to prevail in isolated pockets over Tripura, coastal Maharashtra and coastal areas of Gujarat on April 26th, while such conditions are expected over Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, coastal Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema and Kerala during the specified period. Additionally, the IMD said that warm night conditions are very likely in isolated pockets over Uttar Pradesh on April 26th, Haryana, Chandigarh, as well as parts of Madhya Pradesh on April 27th and Chhattisgarh on April 27th and 28th. The weather department further said that an upper air cyclonic circulation lies over Uttar Pradesh and the neighboring neighborhood in lower tropospheric levels, while another such circulation prevails over northeast Jharkhand and adjoining areas. We have with us Pradeep John, who's a weather expert who joins us live. Pradeep, of course, the pointing is towards the formation of the El Nino in the Pacific Ocean. But why this kind of a heat wave, and also why is it that once in 140 years is there a cycle for El Nino also to strengthen over the years, like in the sense like in 140 years you have something like this coming in and then the next 140 years, does it work like that, or is it a phenomenon that we need to keep monitoring and then you come to know that it could be as drastic as it is being predicted?
You are spot on. El Nino, the strong El Ninos occurred previously in 1982, and then 1997, and then 2015. So strong El Nino means maybe in the range of the sea surface temperature is greater than 2 degrees, 2 to 2.5 degrees. And then, so there was a period of around 15 to 20 years once this strong El Nino used to occur. But you saw in 2023, which was also a strong El Nino year, but we cannot call it as a super El Nino, but still the temperature, SST in the sea surface temperature was greater than 2 degrees in 2023 El Nino event. And now within another 3 years, we are going to see another strong El Nino event, which is going to be the strongest in over close to 100 years, maybe in the late winter season. So something has changed, and the occurrence of the strong El Nino events very often is disrupting these climate change patterns.
What is it that has led to weathers? Are we looking at global rise in temperatures also contributing to the fastening of these kind of weather systems? What are we looking at? And is it that it is highly important that we look at our carbon credits, we look at the kind of greenhouse gases that we are in fact putting out? Is there a global warming that is to be looked into carefully than what meets the eye?
You are spot on. See, we are a developing country. We need these coal-based resources, and also that there should be a right balance between the growth and as well as the sustainability. So we cannot immediately stop all these fossil emission fuels. So it needs to be a gradual shift. But we have already seen that India is a monsoon-dependent country, and most of our the droughts have coincided with the El Nino events. If the El Nino event is going to be occurring not once in the strong ones, not once in 7 years, not once in 10 years, and it's going to be repeatedly going forward the future, the gap is going to be reduced, and maybe once in 3 years or once in 5 years, we are going to see these El Nino events, which means that we are going to be prone to droughts once in 3 years or once in 5 years. So that should be the threat we should see. And accordingly, we should also make sure gradually move away from these fossil fuels and towards a greener technology.
Also, when it comes to the weather changes that we've seen, when it comes to India especially, of course, you have mentioned that how we have to look at monsoons and that we should be worried about whether the cycle is there between 3 years or 5 years or something in those kind of manner in which we are looking at. So, how are we seeing the change in monsoon in the last probably 20, 25 years when global warming has become a concern? How do we in fact see the changes that are coming in? Is the precipitation factor becoming an issue? How is monsoon affected by this?
Uh, See, last time when we saw a very less rainfall was in 2015-16, which also coincided with an El Nino event. And then subsequently, we had a very good monsoon years. We had lot neutral to La Nina years, multiple years. 2019 also came to an El Nino. It's not a classical El Nino. We call it as a El Nino Modoki event. Well, luckily in 2019, there was a very strong positive IOD which helped to mitigate that deficiency in the rainfall. So after almost 8 to 9 years, we are going to see 2023 was also one of the year which we fell marginally from the monsoon rainfall. So this year, I think the pattern is if it is going to be a very strong El Nino year, maybe if it sets in, the El Nino condition sets in after July or after August. So luckily we can escape and we can get good rainfall in the month of June and July. So we have to see the impact. So most probably we are going to end up in a very less rainfall this southwest monsoon. And during the northeast monsoon, we all know that it is going to be the opposite. During strong El Nino events, the southern states like Tamil Nadu has experienced extreme floods. So 2015 we saw extreme floods, and 2023, which is also an El Nino event, we saw extreme floods, and 2026. So we can see that the gap has been reducing a lot over a period of time.
Thank you, Pradeep John, for in fact joining us with your expertise on how to in fact prepare for the strong El Nino that we are going to face.